What's up, everyone? All right, so here we are, 10th green day in a row, just about $56,000 in the last 10 days. That is good. I am definitely on a hot streak. Now, today was the worst of my worst day in the last week, up only $2,600. So, a little disappointing, but green is good. So today I traded in both my main account and my IRA. That always feels good to make a little profit in the IRA. Only $700, but progress is being made. So it's going to put me up to about $22,000 in the IRA account, and then my main account is getting close to $182,000. We're making the way up to $200,000 in that account. I really should take out profit soon, but I just haven't. So anyways, solid day overall. We're still seeing that momentum in the market. We'll break it all down in the midday market recap. And as usual, if you enjoyed the videos, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave comments below. I'll come back and answer them later today. All right, see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. All right, everyone. So we're going to get started here with our midday market recap. We'll go over the trades from this morning. Overall, a pretty solid day. Well, it's actually my worst day in the last week. I'm finishing up $2,636.96. But it is the worst day in the last week. It's been a good week when $2,600 is your worst day, that's for sure. I'm going to mute my scans there. Let's see. Let me just type here. We're definitely in a bit of a hot streak, so that's certainly nice. Last 10 days, just about $56,000 of profits. So, green is good. Definitely making some good progress here on both my main account and on my IRA account, which is awesome. So with my Roth IRA account, what I did last year for 2017, I had made $335,000 in my small account, and I took $5,500 of that, and I made a 2017 traditional IRA contribution. And then in January, on January 5th, I made a 2018 traditional IRA contribution. And then what I did, because I'm above the income limit for a Roth IRA, is I did a backdoor conversion where I converted the traditional IRA into a Roth IRA, which meant I had to pay income tax on the $11,000 that I had deposited. So I paid my income tax on the $11,000, and now I have a Roth IRA. Started in January with $11,000, and I haven't traded in it a lot, mostly because I've been restricted because it's a cash account. So today I took 2 trades in it, made $700, and I only have $3,000 of buying power left, and I won't be able to trade in this account for until Friday. So, I can only trade in it once a week. And of course, if that one trade is a loser, then, you got to wait another week or whatever it is to try to get it back. But even if it's a winner, today I made $700 using almost all of my buying power. Whereas last week I made $2,200 using the same amount of buying power. So, if you have a trade that's break even, then, that's, it locks up your account for a couple days. And then, of course, in July and in August, I wasn't trading in it at all because I didn't see any really good quality setups that I felt were 99% confidence that it was going to work. I wanted big winners. And so I kept kind of waiting, and they weren't happening. Then I took a couple trades and they were losers. So, anyways, long story short, the progress in this account has been pretty slow. But once I get above 25,000, I'll be able to day trade in it, more consistently. So I'm looking forward to doing that because the nice thing is that all of the profit in there is tax-free. I'm not going to pay any income tax on that profit. And when I take the money out, it is also tax-free. That's the advantage of the Roth IRA. So from this, 22,000 or whatever is, it is, right around 22,000 after today. Over the next 25, 30 years, I can grow this account. And, if I grow it to a couple $1,000,000, that's all tax-free money when I retire. So the only drawback is that I can't take the money out now. So I have my regular account, which I use for, the trading and kind of making the money that I need for, paying bills and everything else. So kind of have the two accounts side by side. Retirement one, sort of not my primary focus, but when I see good quality setups, I trade in it. So you guys can see here the P&L in the two accounts, $1,934.64 in my main account, $702 in the Roth IRA. So a green day, traded UAVS in both accounts, lost $79 in my main account, made $180 in the IRA. Delt, I only traded in the IRA, didn't trade it in the main account. So I'll go over kind of the watch list here, or sort of what I was looking at this morning. So let me bring this over, go right click down to historical date, and we're going to run this scan for 9:25 a.m. Every morning is the same. It's always the same routine. We're looking for the small handful of stocks that have the potential to make a 20 to 30% move. What we're looking for is a stock with above average volume today, up at least 5%. So every stock on this scanner right here is up at least 5%. And there's this morning only 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22 stocks out of 10,000 in the market. Only 22 stocks here are up more than 5%. So we just narrowed down the stocks to possibly trade significantly. We want to see that there is some type of catalyst driving the stock higher, ideally. We like to see that the price is between $1 and $10, and we like to see that the float is ideally less than 10 million shares. That creates the potential for a home run type of setup. Leading gapper this morning, UAVS, up 57%. Has a headline, signs one of the largest specialty crop producers, signs one of the largest specialty crop producers in North America to its new sustainability platform and drone leasing program. All right, so that's the headline. Out of the gates, I was watching this for a trade, and we knew the pre-market high was $1.30. So as soon as the bell rang and it started to squeeze up, I punched the order to buy it twice. Boom, boom. I had already prepared the order to $1.30. So I put the order here to $1.30 like this, and I pressed the buy button twice. So boom, boom, press the buy button twice. However, I got a error. And the error was, let's see. Well, actually, it's not showing up here anymore. But the error that I got was that my risk check failed. And that was because I was placing an order more than 10% above the current price. It immediately popped and I pressed that buy button when the price was $1.15. So the bell rang, it was at a low of $1.10. As it popped up to $1.15, I pressed the buy button once and twice for 10,000 shares. I wanted a 10,000 share position. So I would have been in this at about $1.15, $1.16. It immediately pops up to $1.38. That would have been about, that could have been a $2,000 winner. I mean, it was a really nice pop there. And I didn't get filled. No trade. So, that's always disappointing when that happens. I consider it a winning trade because I had the setup, I had the order ready, and I didn't get the fill because of a risk check fail. So disappointing there. I would have been better off just pressing my hotkey Shift 1, but it just ended up that I chose the wrong way, so I missed that trade. All right, now the stock ended up selling off, as you can see, but I did get in it right. Let's see, where was it? It was right here. I got in it as it was surging back up. I jumped in it at $1.15, and I sold at $1.20. So I was in at $1.15, sold at $1.18. So made 3 cents on 6,000 shares, 3 times 6, $180. I got in at the same place in my IRA or in my main account, and I lost about a penny, so down $79. Also with 6,000 shares. So, whatever. It just didn't really hold up that well. It hit $1.20 and then faded, and I got out and was done with it. What I thought might happen was a red to green move where it would surge up, and that's what ended up happening on ANY. ANY, I was watching out of the gates for a break over $7. We had this pre-market consolidation. The bell rings and it surges up to 716 and then flushes all the way down to 642. Then it does a red to green move, surges back up, as you can see here, and squeezes up to a high of 760. It pulls back, it then surges up to 786. I kept missing the setup on it. I didn't get the red to green setup, then I didn't get the first pullback, and then I didn't get the second one. And so on this one, I just ended up, being kind of frustrated. I finally got a trade on it. Let's see, right on the first 5-minute candle to make a new high, which was actually right here. So I got in right here at $1.48 for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high, anticipating that would happen. And on that one, we surged up to $5.60. So ANY in at 43, 45, and 48 with 9,000 shares. The reason I jumped in here was because all of a sudden I saw a big buyer on the bid. Let me just move this around. There we go. At about $7.40, $7.43. So I saw this big, like 20,000 share order. And as soon as I saw that, I knew that anyone that had shorted on this drop right here was going to be nervous and was probably going to cover. I pressed the buy button. Within 1 second, I pressed it 3 times. So boom, boom, boom. I jump in, I get filled, and literally 1 second later, it's at 764. Within 2 seconds, this popped up 20 cents. Now, this was a trade that was so fast. If you were waiting in the chat room for me to say I was buying, the chat room has like a 5-second lag. So you wouldn't have even heard that I was in until, down here. And of course I said that I was in at 48. So you would have known where I was in at and seen how fast it moved. I saw Rob and a couple others said they saw that same big buyer right here. And the second they saw it, they pressed the buy button. And then they heard after they were already in that I had got in because of the 5-second lag. And that's awesome. That's exactly what I want. I want you guys seeing these setups. So you're pressing the buy button because you see it, not because you hear me say I'm getting in or anything like that. So anyways, that was a nice winner, $1,300 there. That kind of put me on the map in my main account. Took that small trade on UAVS, 17 and 19, stopped out at 17. Took a trade on ASNS at 94, 97, selling at 98 and 97, adding back at 96 and 97, and then selling at 01, 05, 04, 05, and 04. So ASNS, this one was also a gapper this morning. However, by the time the bell rang, it had sold off a fair amount. Kind of pushed up and then came down, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, squeezes up 10%, gets halted on a circuit breaker at $1.77. It resumes higher, squeezes up to 95. It pulls back for a second. As it surges up, I got in right here. It hits 99, and then it drops down to 78, and then it curls back up here, and that's where I added. So I added right there. It squeezed up to a high of 210. And in that move, I made $642. So not the biggest winner, took the scalp on it coming out of the halt, but it was a green trade. Ended up hitting a high of 233, which is a pretty nice move overall. So I'm happy with that. So solid trading overall today. I missed, one good opportunity. DELT, this was another one that hit the scanners this morning. It was already a gapper. The bell rings. It starts to surge up. I jumped in it with 10,000 shares, $1.17. It hits a high of $1.27. So I'm in this at, let's see, 18, 18, and 19, and then selling at 25, 26, and 23. So this one hit a high of 28, and then there was a big seller on the ask, like a 20,000 share seller on the ask at 28. So that was kind of disappointing, and I sold it as soon as I saw that seller. So, whatever, 500 bucks there. So 700 in the IRA. So a solid day there overall. A couple percent gain, and in the main account, pretty solid as well. Biggest position today probably would have been share size. The 9,000 shares on ANY, 9 times 750. That's a bigger position for sure. But 35, $40,000. But realistically, it's not that crazy. So if I had a $35,000 account, actually, realistically, if I had a $25,000 account, I would have been able to take all of these trades today because I would have just been able to use my margin. I would have used margin for a second on ANY, and then I would have been good. So nice job, overall. I'm happy to be green, another green day. I believe this is my 10th green day in a row. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 10th green day in a row. So 56,000 or so, averaging about 5,500 per day. 10 green days. There we go. All right, so I'm going to add that to my calendar. And we've got 3 more days left in November. So finish up this month as strong as I can. I'm sitting on the month right now. I don't know, somewhere right around 55 or 54,000. Let's see. Yeah, 54,500 it looks like right now, which is pretty good. So 470,000 on the year, 806,000 in my account that I'm working to grow up to $1 million. So I've got $193,000 to go. So if let's see. There's 20 trading days in a month, so 193 divided by 40. To do it in the next 2 months, which would be by the end of January, I would need to average just under 5,000 a day. If I give myself 3 months to get there, I would need to average 3,000 a day. If I give myself 4 months, I would need to average 2,400 a day. And I've been averaging 2,200 a day for the entire 2018 year so far. So getting there within 3 months should not be an issue, especially considering the next 2 months are my strongest typical months of the year, December and January. So I think I'll probably cross over the $1 million mark in January. That's kind of what I've been thinking, January, February, and we'll see how we can do. Of course, one day of really hot momentum, and I could make $50,000. So if I get that type of move, if we see that type of move in the market and I'm in it, that could get me really close to the finish line. So especially if I have a couple days like that. But we'll trade the market we're in. Right now we're in a hot market, so I've been more aggressive, and I'm going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal. But today is definitely the smallest green day I've had in the last week. So maybe things are slowing down just a smidge, and it's just kind of keep an eye on how things look tomorrow and through the rest of the week. Question there: can I trade margin in the IRA? No, I don't have. I don't have leverage. So leverage would mean I multiply my buying power times X amount, and I would have $80,000 of buying power. You don't get leverage. You can get settlement margin, which means as soon as you take the trade, it settles, but you are still you still have to follow the PDT rule until you have more than $25,000. So, and I switched my account from Interactive Brokers to Lightspeed because Interactive Brokers was so bad with customer service. I was just so frustrated, and I kept missing opportunities and even losing money because their platform wasn't working well for me. So I moved it to Lightspeed, knowing I was giving up the settlement margin. With Interactive Brokers, I would have my $20,000, and I could trade in it 3 times in a day. I could trade the full $20,000 3 times in one day. So I could have one day where I trade 3 times, and then I have to wait till the next week, because remember, you can only take 3 trades in a 5-day rolling period. So I'd have to wait all the way to the next week before taking another trade. Whereas with this, I could take 5 trades in a day if I wanted to, but I would run out of buying power, and then I have to wait 2 days for the cash to settle. So, realistically, it's kind of almost the same. I mean, the only thing that would be better with the settlement margin with interactive brokers is that if you were having a day where the market was crazy, crazy hot, you would be able to potentially take 3 trades on a really hot stock that day. And that might be better than, only being able to take 1. But I don't know. I'm not sure which is really better. But in any case, I'm getting close to the $25,000 mark. Starting on January 1st, I'll do another deposit, which will be $6,000 this year. They increased the limit. So that'll put me up to $28,000. So I'll be above the PDT level in January as long as I don't take any big losses in the next month. And Lightspeed is adding the settlement margin, so I will be able to be actively day trading this account, I believe, starting in January. So anyways, that's about it for me. I hope you guys had a great day, made some money, and we'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning, and we'll see if we can make it an 11th green day in a row. All right, so that's it for me. I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content? Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.